What if I told you that one of the biggest, most legendary treasures in all of history, a literal room full of gold, was hidden almost 500 years ago, and it's still out there, just waiting for someone to find it? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into. This is the incredible story of the lost gold of the Incas. It's a tale of empires, a brutal betrayal, and a dangerous hunt that is still going on to this very day.
And just so we're all on the same page about the stakes here, what are we talking about in terms of value? Well, and this is a conservative estimate, just the gold part of this lost ransom would be worth over $232 million today. And that's not even touching the historical value of these things. These are priceless artifacts. So yeah, the stakes are absolutely immense.
So that really is the big question, isn't it? For nearly 5 centuries, you've had adventurers, you've had historians, treasure hunters, all asking that exact same thing. And to even begin to find the answer, we have to go all the way back to the very moment it was lost, a moment of conquest and just an unbelievable act of defiance. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in the 16th century, and you've got this violent clash of two completely different worlds: the Spanish conquistadors, who were absolutely obsessed with gold, and the huge, sophisticated Inca Empire. And right at the heart of this whole conflict was a massive misunderstanding about what gold even was. See, this is where it all starts to go wrong. For the Spanish, gold meant one thing and one thing only: money, wealth, power. But for the Inca, it was something else entirely. It was sacred. They called it the sweat of the sun, a divine gift from their god Inti. They used it to decorate their temples, to create these beautiful religious objects. It wasn't money to them. It was holy. And that difference in opinion, well, it would have some pretty deadly consequences. Everything really comes to a head in 1532. The Spanish conquistador Francisco Pizarro, he actually captures the Inca emperor, a man named Atahualpa. And Atahualpa, he sees how crazy these Spaniards are for the yellow metal, so he makes this unbelievable offer, literally the largest ransom in the history of the world. But as tons of this priceless gold started pouring in, the Spanish, they got paranoid. And in 1533, they just broke their promise. They took all the gold they'd been given, and they killed him. And you can just feel the tragedy in his supposed last words. Right before he was executed, he reportedly asked Pizarro, "What have I done, or my children, that I should meet such a fate?" I mean, think about it. He kept his end of the bargain. The conquistadors didn't. His murder wasn't just the death of an emperor. It was the birth of a legend that would last for centuries. Atahualpa's death sent shockwaves across the entire Inca Empire. But while that chapter was ending in bloodshed, a whole new one was just beginning in secret. And it's all thanks to the incredible loyalty of one of the emperor's most trusted generals. And this is where a new hero enters our story, General Rumiñahui. He was known for being a really tough, fiercely loyal Inca leader. And at the exact moment his emperor was being murdered, Rumiñahui was on the road leading this massive convoy, a convoy carrying the final and maybe the biggest part of that ransom. So Rumiñahui gets the news of the betrayal, and he has to make a choice. And he makes a world-changing one. He immediately commands the entire treasure convoy, we're talking tons and tons of gold, to get off the main roads and head deep into the remote, impenetrable Longanites Mountains. Eventually, the Spanish did capture him, and they tortured him for the information, but he never, ever talked. The secret of where that gold went, it died right there with him. So Rumiñahui took the secret to his grave, but he left behind a guardian. And no, not some kind of spirit or an ancient curse. He left behind something way more real and way more effective. One of the most dangerous and hostile environments on the entire planet. And that's a totally fair question, right? I mean, it's been almost 500 years. We have satellites, GPS, all this modern tech. So how could a treasure this huge possibly stay hidden? Well, the Longanites Mountains, they aren't just any mountains. They almost feel like they're actively working against anyone who dares to go looking. Okay, first off, there's the fog. It just rolls in out of nowhere, this incredibly thick, disorienting cloud that cuts visibility down to basically zero. You read accounts from explorers who say they got separated from their partners for just a few minutes, and by the time they found them, it was too late. Then you've got the ground you're walking on. The whole landscape is this treacherous maze of hidden bogs and literal quicksand. One wrong step, and it could just swallow a person or all their expensive gear completely whole. It's a place that feels like it's constantly trying to consume you. And to make it all even worse, You can't even trust your own tools. The mountains there have such a high concentration of iron ore in the rock that compass needles just spin around uselessly. Before we had GPS, getting lost in there wasn't just a risk, it was pretty much a guarantee. And look, this isn't just theory or ancient history. This is grim reality. This quote here is from an account of an expedition in 1986. Two American explorers went in, the fog rolled in just like we talked about, they got separated, and only one of them ever came out alive. For centuries, these mountains have claimed the lives of those who search, acting as the treasure's most perfect guardian. But here's the thing. Even with all those odds stacked against them, the hunt has never, ever stopped. And in fact, it's actually heating up right now. Today's explorers are going in armed with something past adventurers could only dream of, a powerful mix of centuries-old clues and 21st century tech.
I mean, the whole game has changed. Think about it. Where past searchers had to rely on just rumors and word of mouth, modern teams have actual historical documents. Where old compasses would spin in circles, they now have pinpoint accurate GPS. And maybe most important of all, they have this key clue from the past, the mysterious Map of Valverde, a supposed guide to the treasure that was rediscovered in the 19th century. And we're seeing real breakthroughs happening as we speak. Just this year, an expedition announced that they found an ancient Inca road that seems to match details on that old Valverde map. They've also located a hidden lagoon that perfectly aligns with one of the legends, the one that says Ruminyawi dumped a portion of the treasure into a lake. Let me tell you, hope for finding this thing is higher now than it's been in hundreds of years. So that kind of brings us to one last big thought. After 500 years of searching, of people risking and losing their lives, what is the real prize here? Is it just the pile of gold? Or is the true treasure that incredible act of defiance by General Ruminyahu? A story of loyalty so powerful that it created a mystery that has inspired generations to chase a connection to this incredible lost empire. You have to wonder, maybe the greatest treasure wasn't what was hidden, but why it was hidden in the first place.